Let's get crazy. Thank you.
미팅들이 다 안타까도
그러니까 닦을 뻔했어.
Welcome everyone to the finals of the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard here in the Oakville Curling Club. And we've got a pretty exciting game here for you this afternoon. Team Seungyoun of South Korea versus Team Rebecca Morrison of Scotland will be our women's final. Also airing on YouTube will be Team Mowat versus Team White, both of Scotland, for the men's final. You can find that on the Stu Sells Oakville, or the Stu Sells YouTube channel there. Perry Marshall will be doing color commentary for that game, so if you're interested in checking that one out, feel free to look over there. We will be giving scoring updates throughout that on both that game as well as our feature here. So we're just finishing up practice. The teams have done their draw to the button. It'll be Team Morrison throwing the first stone. Team Ha will have hammer here in the first end as we get going. Team Morrison here, it'll be Sophie Jackson throwing the lead stones. Both teams have now played 2 games today. This is their 3rd game. Every team out here has had to play a quarterfinal and a semifinal here today, so everyone should be fairly familiar with the ice conditions at this point. We'll see how defensive or aggressive they choose to play. Given that it's a final, you'll often see teams maybe, take it a little easy in the first end and throw the first one in the house, leading to some hits, letting everyone get their legs under them. But often those aren't on days where everyone's already played 2 games that day. Here Rebecca asking for a hard curl, trying to get that closer to center line. Just hung out there a little bit wide. Might have been some fresh pebble that Sophie threw that through there. Throwing the lead stones here for Team Ha is Seungyoun Kim. Looking for a draw in behind that corner guard here. Line looks pretty good here. This looks like it's finishing over quite well. Is the weight going to be there? Just going to get a little bit into the 12-foot. Almost full 12 there for it. Not quite fully buried under the guard. Given that Morrison's team didn't get the center guard they're looking for to start, they're not going to play this overly aggressive. They'll try and hit this red one to start, get a rollover into the other side of the house, keep things relatively clean until they get some comfort level with the ice here. Taken off a bit towards the guard there. Got it by. Get to about nose on the red. Will they be able to punch it through? Does get it just out the back of the house, out of play there, leaving the yellow up at the front. Looks like it might be just off the rings. Might not be something they can play on quite yet. Have the skips both take a look at it. If they're unsure, they are allowed to measure that at this point in the end to see if it is in the rings. It's the one rare time you're allowed to measure a rock during the middle of an end. Looks like both skips have agreed that it is on the rings. So Team Ha making a play on here, looking to do a little hit and roll into the house. solid weight here. About to hit half a stone. Rolling well over to the side of the house. Will it stick around? Will stick around, biting the side of the house there. Very nice shot. Changing the path here for Team Morrison. This will be a fresh path here for them to throw in the first end. Morrison not wanting to have anything escalate and build here this early in the game. Just going to play a simple call of trying to hit this and roll into the house if they can. This is Sophie Sinclair throwing the second stones here for Team Morrison. Looks really nice. Good weight on that. Rolls into the 8-foot. This will be the same idea for Team Ha. They won't want anything to build. Just going to play the hit and try and stay right there for them. This is Seungyoun throwing second stones for the Ha team. Looks like it's pretty good there. Just going to get about 2/3 of the stone. Almost nose actually as it finishes up quite nicely. Likely heading towards an end where they'll just play up and down the sheet here, just wearing down some pebble, getting some comfort for the ice. Neither team looking to take a big risk this early on. Both teams coming into this game finished the pool play with 3-1 records. Team Morrison, in their pool play, they had a 5-4 win over Team Yoshimura. They then lost their second game against Holly Duncan 4-1. Then followed up with wins over Haley Armstrong of Ottawa with a 7-1 win, and then a 7-3 win over Sarah Bailey of St. Catharines, Ontario. And then in the playoffs, they've defeated Sayaka Yoshimura. They played her a second time and defeated her in the quarterfinals, and then Tabitha Peterson in the semifinals earlier. Meanwhile, again, a similar 3-1 record in pool play for the Ha team. They defeated Tori Zemelink of Guelph, Ontario 9-2, defeated Isabel Ladisseur of Whitby, Ontario 8-2, lost their third game to Jessica Degla of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then responded with an 8-2 win over Shelley Hardy of Sarnia, Ontario to make the playoffs. This morning they defeated Christina Black of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then this afternoon they had a very strong win against Delaney Strauss of Traverse City, Michigan to get them into the final here. Here's Gina Aiken throwing the third stones for the Morrison team. Shot, gets to nose on there. It's a small piece of the yellow rock tucked under the corner guard there. Makes it very tough for the Ha team to roll under the corner guard themselves, so they'll try and make a big roll away so that on Morrison's next turn they have a hard time getting fully under that corner guard. At this point, the Ha team very much playing for the blank end here. Morrison will try to see if they can get a force out of it, but they're not going to go overly aggressive and lead them into a play where it could set up a deuce for the Ha team. This one needs to curl up a bit to stick around. Gets the hit, rolls deep. Will it stick around and bite? It does. It hangs on the back 12-foot there. So Morrison will chase this one here. Just wanting to roll back in towards the 8-foot. See if they can roll a little further into the house. Maybe get a piece of the 8-foot at the back there.
괜찮아. 잘 말했어. 이게 핸들이 살고 있어서.
This looks very nice here. Gets the hit, little flop in, sitting full 12. He shot rock there.
10-5. Yeah, you said hidden.
Throwing the third stones for the Ha team is hiring Kim.
Maybe Morrison, it seems a nasty game.
This is her second stone of the end. Just looking to do a similar idea, just a hit and stay there. Very nice, right on the nose there. For both teams, they'll consider this tournament a successful trip here to Ontario, collecting significant points on the World Curling Tour by making the finals here. Obviously, the winner will definitely get a bigger share of the points as well as a bigger share of the prize money. But this is a big start to the year for both teams. So they'll be quite happy with the results and hope to carry this momentum into the next few events. This is skip Rebecca Morrison here, throwing her first stone here in the first end. This really needs to curl to get a piece of the red here. You've got to get this over to get a piece. It gets it and just enough to push it out. Rolls out. That, though, is a bit of a mistake here. This is going to give a bit of a chance for Ha to really clean up the end. They're going to just peel the guard, make sure there's absolutely nothing in play here for Morrison to hide behind, virtually guaranteeing her shot at a blank on her next one. This is Seungyoun Ha, the skip of the Ha team. They're first in the first end. This looks good. Just going to hit about a third of the rock. Rolls it out. Leaving us a nice clean area of play here. Rebecca will use this as a chance to try and get a good handle on her draw weight. A lot of hits being played by the teams here. Whenever you get a chance like this, you do want to make sure that you make use out of this shot. She knows that there's a very, very high likelihood that Ha is going to get a blank out of this. Ha will definitely be throwing a hit. But for Morrison, it's not a throwaway rock here. You want to get a feel for your draw weight as early as you can, get some comfort with it, maybe find a path that you just aren't totally sure about. So maybe if there's a turn here that you haven't thrown in practice or you didn't get enough information on, this is your chance to learn a little bit more about this. You don't want to waste these opportunities early in the game when you do have them. Sweepers on this most of the way. Looks like it's carrying nicely, though. The line is heading right towards the center there. Sweepers have eased up a little bit, just cleaning it in. Very nice. Top four weight, perfectly set up there, right on center line. And that helps. That gives Rebecca a lot of confidence about her draw weight as the ends go along. Tells her she knows exactly where to put the broom if she needs it to get it right to center line there. So Ha will look to hit about a half a rock here, get the roll out, try and blank the end, carry forward the hammer into the second. Immediately calling the sweeping on. This is a little tighter to it than she wants here. A Looks pretty good, though. There's the hit. Rolls out the side. And that'll be a blank end to start. And we'll go forward to the second end, 0-0.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And you know what? I've always said the 4 key things of real estate are location, layout, quality, and uniqueness. And oh my God, check out this location. We are in Lower Valley Point down in the Humber Valley. And who doesn't want to live here? It's like being in the country, but you live in the core of the city. We have the gorgeous Humber River, parks, bike path. You can walk down this bike path and you'll be at the Old Mill, beautiful place. They have a spa, nice hotel, restaurant. You can go to the Jane subway station. You want to get downtown. You go up the hill and you're in the Junction, all the funky shops, cafes, one of my favorite areas in the city. And you know what? This home is quality. We have a solid detached brick, beautiful house. We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a stunning addition off the back with a huge living room. You go upstairs, we have cathedral ceilings in the prime bedroom. It has a wood-burning stove. We have a gorgeous stone fireplace in the living room. Kitchen's done, hardwood floors, crown molding, a sauna in the basement for those winter nights if you want to go in the sauna and get warm. And we have 2 exits in the basement. Tons of potential, apartment, in-law suite, so much. You know what? Uniqueness, you want cool? This house is super cool. On the main floor, we have a Gothic-style stained glass window from a demolished church in Quebec. In the prime bedroom upstairs, a gorgeous 19th century stained glass window shipped imported from Ireland. So cool. We have a ton of skylights, a ton of light. If you want light, this is the place. Also, oh my God, I'm afraid of the best thing. Backyard, private drive, concrete garage, beautiful, serene, idyllic setting, beautiful mature trees, gorgeous garden, so peaceful, so quiet. And you know what? The layout is awesome. 3 bedrooms, great living room, tons of room, tons of space in the basement, gorgeous kitchen. You know what? This home is so unique and so cool. You're going to be blown away by it. So go to stusells.ca, see all the videos, the pictures, the tour, the floor plans, and give me Stu a call.
Welcome back to the second end of the women's final here at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Team Ha blanking the first end and maintaining the advantage with hammer here, as Team Morrison throwing the second of their lead stones. Just a quick update on the men's game here. Team Mowat taking 1 in the first end for a lead of 1-0 over Team White. We'll keep you updated on that game as our draw goes along. Team Morrison's second draw there from Sophie Jackson, not quite burying completely. Got it to the 4 foot there. Great weight on it. Just couldn't quite get it under the red rock in the top of the 8 foot. So Team Ha will make a play on this here. They'll try and do a little hit and roll off to the wing. Looks like they're pretty close here. They like the line for it. And a very nice shot. Very good weight control to make sure you don't roll too far, but getting a big enough roll that it's not an easy hit and roll back for Team Morrison. Very nice throw there. So you'll probably see this end get a little bit more aggressive. The teams have now played up the sheet and everything. They get a feel for how much curl they're having. They have a bit of more feel for the draw weight. A lot of hits last end though, so there might still be a few spots they're not sure of what the draw weight is. So important for the teams to stay focused and communicate about that. looking for the big hit and roll here. See if they can roll back in towards the center.
Okay, good sweep.
Gets hit it close to nose, little flop, but only stops a second shot there. The red rock on the center line, still the first shot. Team Ha liking the positioning, the two reds to be well spread if they can hit this right on the nose. So that's all they're looking for. Not looking to roll either way here. Here. They're pushing hard for the curl early. This ice is like a sweeper's paradise. Those sweepers can have a major impact on thrown rocks, whether it's to make it curl, keep it straight, drag it for depth. Really good opportunity for high quality curling out here with how this ice is set up for the sweeping. Morrison now looking for the hit and roll back towards the center. This rock's now a couple rocks higher in the house than it was the last time they attempted the hit. So if they can get the roll, they should stay close towards the back four here. There's the hit. Will they stop in time? No, just a bit too much roll there. Rolls out the other side, just in the back 8 foot. It is shot rock now, though. Team Ha will continue the same strategy here now, just on the other side. They'll look to hit this and try and flop a little towards the outside of the house. Again, trying to maintain that separation of the stones. They don't want to roll under the guards, and the reason for that is if they rolled under to the back 4 foot, while they would be sitting 2, it would create a great spot for Team Morrison to draw into there and freeze on top, effectively cutting down the scoring area and shrinking their opportunity to get a multiple here. So a little roll away, very nice shot. Again, great weight control from this Ha team. They're really picking the right weights to make sure they roll as far as they want to here. Team Morrison came pretty close on the roll last time. Going to try and make it a little bit better this time here. If they can roll to center, they should still be shot rock. It will be higher up in the house, or closer to the button at least, than that rock that's biting the top 8 foot. Trying to make this curl here, trying to get over inside to get a flop under. Just hung out a little bit too much, so they hit almost nose. Shot rock is the red one in the top 8 foot. So Seungyoun Ha, I apologize, now sitting there and trying to reassess the situation, thinking she doesn't need to hit that yellow rock now that it's second shot out there and it's behind the tee line. What she's thinking now is they can draw and freeze on that and use it as protection so that they can sit 2 with ideally neither rock being easily removed for the Morrison team. The line looks pretty good here. The sweeper's holding back a little bit. This might be a little hot right now as they back away a little bit. They ideally don't want to bounce off there or even go by it, just even sails right on by, sticks around, but goes all the way just 2/3 in the back 12 foot there. So Morrison going to completely ignore it there. She knows her rock that's off to the side is out counting it, so she doesn't need to focus on it right now. Now looking to try and go a bit more aggressive with the call to go around the center guard as well as the one in the top 8 foot. It's important here that you pick the right side to attempt this shot on. She's going on this side of the sheet because if the rock doesn't curl enough, she doesn't want it on the other side sticking out a little bit where it might set up a double of the yellows there. So by going on this side, there's almost no chance that she sets up a double for Team Ha to remove both yellows in one shot. This looks pretty close on line. Need to make sure it gets by the red there. Looks like it's curling really hard. Just going to clip the red, but it spills up a little bit and is second shot. However, because it rolled far enough away there, it does potentially leave an opportunity for a double if the Ha team wants to take it on. Looks like they're a bit more focused on just setting up their 2 here still, which is a smart move at this point in the game. There's no need to get overly aggressive if the opportunity hasn't presented itself. Your goal at the start of the end would have been to try to get 2. So if you can still make sure that happens, that's the right way to play it, is just stick to your goal from the beginning of the end. So looking for a little bit of a roll under. She was indicating to her team that it's okay if we roll a little bit further as long as it's on the right line here. A little bit of a pop out there on the release. This needs to curl quite a bit to get to the inside. Not going to get to the inside. It's going to hit about a half runk on the outside. Rolling away. It is going to stick around as a biter as 4th shot. This is starting to get a little more worrisome for the Morrison team. A few reds starting to build up around the outside of the house. Again, they are second shot. Just hate to see all those reds building up just in case a mistake ends up leading to even more of them coming into play. After Gina's last shot, though, prior to this, clipped that red one that's in the top 8 foot. It did push it out a little bit into the open now. So now Rebecca can make a play on this stone here in the top 8. Try and play a quiet weight hit, tap it back, and try and sit 2.
그러면 너가 라인을 좀 멀었잖아. 아, 쏘리. 이거 땡기지 말지, 빨리.
Looks like it's out there a little bit. Starting to curl back now. Carefully bring it in. Making curl a bit more now. Gets about 3/4 of it, punches the red out the back, and now we're sitting 2 yellow here in the house. So a good turnaround here for the Morrison team. No double really on those yellows there, just too steep of an angle. So Ha will look to try to play off one of them and see if she can get a roll into a good spot and maybe get a miss to hopefully allow her to play for a bigger end, or at least her 2 for the end. So it looks like they've decided to play off the stone that's just behind the tee line. See if they can get a roll under the yellow rock that's in the top 12 foot. Basically, they'll roll till about the back 8, back 4, probably half in the 8, half in the 4 if they get to the spot they're looking for there. And force Rebecca to decide if she wants to tap her own back or if she wants to try and draw around everything to it. This is Ha's first stone in the second end. This looks like it's curling pretty hard here. They need to sweep this to try and get the roll here on this. Makes contact, a little bit of a roll. It does get shot rock. However, it doesn't get underneath the yellows like they were hoping for. So it is 1 for Team Ha at the moment.
그러게 헷갈다.
Morrison looking now to see where it's a good spot for them to roll. The danger they have to be careful about is if they roll to a spot where there is a yellow double,
You're rolling.
that could leave an attempt at a double for 3 for the Ha team because of those red biters. So they want to make sure that wherever they roll to, it's either an extremely difficult double or any chance that a double would possibly jam on one of the red rocks.
Nose to hair inside. What you saying, sorry? I was thinking maybe a 9. Just, yeah.
So they want to try and play this to put some pressure on, see if they can get a steal out of this end. You could see some teams where they would try to hit this and roll just a little bit of a way to set up a position where it's a very, very, very difficult double that likely their opposition wouldn't take on, which would be a good way to get a force out of this. But it sounds like Morrison wants to play for the roll in here. That could potentially lead to a chance at a double takeout. So playing with a little bit of risk here, but there's some definite reward if they can make this good. This rock needs to get curling. It's hanging a bit on the outside there and getting closer to nose. Just hits it on the nose. It's going to leave them sitting 2 now. Now looking at the double possibility there. Double gives them an opportunity for 3 here if they can make it
이건 지금
well.
별로야?
However, if they don't
근데
make
이건
it, it may
약간
very well be a steal
안쪽으로 튀는 게 더
for
가능성이
Team
많긴 한데.
Morrison. So that's the risk of playing this is if they try to hit this but only hit this one and not the back one, it'll be a steal for Morrison.
천천히 찾아.
Looks like they like the idea of just playing the back one on its own, just playing for their 1 here.
약간 근데 무리 굳이 안 해도 될 것 같지 않아? 아우 언니 아우 해.
So looking for the nose hit or just an inside flop.
안쪽으로 튀어도 돼. 이거는
Seungyoun Ha with her last rock here in the second end. Blows coming from this needs to curl. It gets close to nose to stay here, and they do. Very nice shot.
Yes.
So that'll be 1 for Team Ha to take a 1-0 lead after 2 ends. We'll be back shortly with the 3rd end.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And you know what? I've always said the 4 key things of real estate are location, layout, quality, and uniqueness. And oh my God, check out this location. We are on Lower Babbie Point down in the Humber Valley. And who doesn't want to live here? It's like being in the country, but you live in the core of the city. We have the gorgeous Humber River, parks, bike path. You can walk down this bike path and you'll be at the Old Mill, beautiful place. They have a spa, nice hotel, restaurant. You can go to the Jane subway station. You want to get downtown. You go up the hill and you're in the Juncheon, all the funky shops, cafes, one of my favorite areas in the city. And you know what? This home is quality. We have a solid detached brick, beautiful house. We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a stunning addition off the back with a huge living room. You go upstairs, we have cathedral ceilings in the prime bedroom. It has a wood-burning stove. We have a gorgeous stone fireplace in the living room. Kitchen's done, hardwood floors, crown molding, a sauna in the basement for those winter nights if you want to go in the sauna and get warm. And we have 2 exits in the basement. Tons of potential, apartment, in-law suites, so much. You know what? Uniqueness, you want cool? This house is super cool. On the main floor, we have a Gothic-style stained glass window from a demolished church in Quebec. In the prime bedroom upstairs, a gorgeous 19th century stained glass window shipped imported from Ireland. So cool. We have a ton of skylights, a ton of light. If you want light, this is the place. Also, oh my God, I'm afraid of the best thing. Backyard, private drive, concrete garage, beautiful, serene, idyllic setting, beautiful mature trees, gorgeous garden, so peaceful, so quiet. And you know what? The layout is awesome. 3 bedrooms, great living room, tons of room, tons of space in the basement, gorgeous kitchen. You know what? This home is so unique and so cool. You're going to be blown away by it. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the videos, the pictures, the tour, the floor plans, and give me Stu a call.
And welcome back to the third end here of the women's final, the Stu Cells Oakville Tankard. Team Ha taking a 1-0 advantage after scoring a single in the second end. Team Morrison now with the hammer for the first time in the game. They are throwing the yellow stones. Team Ha with a couple rocks in the top 12-foot here to start the end, a little bit of an overlap to them. Team Morrison with a corner guard off to the side. Sophie Jackson throwing here, her second stone of the end. Looking for a little bit of a hit and roll to try and remove one of the reds and see if they can get a roll under those corner guards. This looks fairly close here. Needs to curl up a little bit more. Needs to stop on the roll. Rolls past the corner guard, but it does stick around on the side of the house. Does remove one of the reds. So just a little too much of a roll, but still a well-thrown rock.
좋아. 일단 우리 거 뒤로. 정말. 사이드가 더 뻗친다. 잘 잡혀.
Quick update on the men's game out there. Team Mowat with a steal of 2 in the second end versus Team White. So Mowat now with a 3-0 advantage after 2 ends. Both teams representing Scotland there. Scotland well represented in our finals with both of the men's teams and one of the women's teams. So very productive trip for them here. Team Ha with a hit and roll in off the rock in the outside 12. Doesn't quite get under the corner guard here, but now leaves them sitting 2. Rebecca quickly looks at the double there. Double, if they hit the second rock right on the right spot there, it'll leave them staying underneath that corner guard. So kind of a double bonus if they can make this double here. As Rebecca was about to motion there, even just the hit and roll results in a very good ending for them on this shot. Sophie Sinclair throwing the second stones here for the Morrison team. Rebecca immediately really calling for the curl out of her hand. It's just she got this a little bit out there. It's getting close though. He's able to bring it back. There's the hit. Rolls over, pushes the second redstone not quite out of the house, just to the side of the 12, but stops with their shooter in a very good spot. Looks like it's a good portion of it's buried under that guard. About 3/4 of it under that guard. There is some accessible there. Seungyoun being asked to play a quiet weight hit on this. Will be tough to keep the shooter, but with the quieter weight, that would help them to try and keep the shooter off this. Bigger focus though is making sure that they get this yellow out of there. Tight to that corner guard. Don't want to wreck on it there. Ooh, just going to clip it there. Chips it over to be a center guard now. Still out front of the house. It's something that Morrison could use. So Morrison's currently shot in the top 12. Now has an opportunity to try and set up a multiple for the end.
I think just back T is good.
Ask them, hear them asking about what depth to throw it on. They want to try and make sure that they don't set up a cross-house double here. Sweepers are saying that it's back 4, back 8 weight, which is about where they were looking for. They wanted to just behind the tee line, not too far, so it might be a hair heavier than they're looking for. But if it can stop there, it'll be good. Looks like it might be a bit deeper than they thought. It goes all the way to the back 12, but it does stop in time. They are sitting 2 now, well spread across the house.
Yeah.
This is Hiring Kim throwing the third stones for the Ha team. Going to look to try and do a hit and roll, wanting to roll all the way past the guard if they can, to try and get it out in front of the yellow on the other side. Going on this very hard for the sweep right early on. Pretty close, they think. There's the hit. Comes rolling over. Just comes out about half a rock past the corner guard there. A pretty good result, because this will make it very difficult for the Morrison team to hit and stay right behind the guard. If anything, they'll most likely roll away from the center line guard, which would then potentially set up a double for the Ha team. So a good lie there to leave that just sticking out on this side of the guard a little bit. This is Gina Aiken throwing the third stones for the Morrison team. Really hard to try and get to nose. Looks like they were able to. Very impressive shot.
Yeah, I heard that.
To get to nose on that.
Really good. All right.
Well, that leaves the Morrison team sitting 2 here.
Right, yeah. I think it was the same there. I was like, what just happened?
Looks like the Ha team will just try to follow suit, see if they can follow that down to the nose there. like this out of her hand here. Started curling now. Curling quite hard towards that center guard. Looks like it's just going to clip it. Guard's been a frustrating one for the Ha team to deal with this end. Twice clipping it now on attempted hits.
Wait, the two. Do you like that?
This now could bring a 3 into play for the Morrison team.
You like it deeper? Okay.
Challenge of always scoring larger amounts of points in these ends is positioning of your rocks. It gets difficult to spread them out where there's no doubles available to be made. So sometimes you have to avoid getting caught up in thinking that you're definitely going to be able to get 3 and just still trying to make sure that you've got a very clear shot for your pair by the end of the end. Gina trying to draw around that corner guard, hoping they can keep this relatively even with the rock in the top of the 8-foot. Sounds like it's a bit deeper, hearing back 4 from the sweepers.
Right in.
Need to curl also to get in behind that corner guard. Taking it back to the back 4.
I got 15.
The angles are quite difficult for any kind of double where the Ha team would stick around with their shooter. They could try to take on a double in the hopes of eliminating yellows, but knowing that their shooter might roll out. But the danger with that is if you only get 1, then it's almost giving a free throw back to the Morrison team to try and set up the end even better if they can. So you do have to be careful when you take on those risks.
일단 근데 A를 여기 보자. 더 가도 되니까. 내가 이거 따라갈게. 아니 T도 따라가겠다. 그러니까 많이 안 잡을 것 같아.
So it looks like Seungyoun is going to take on that challenge of trying to make this double. Weight choice will be an important factor here for if she's trying to keep her shooter around. This is going to need to hit about 2/3 of this yellow stone to try and make the double. Immediately getting the outside sweeper on, trying to carve it over. Looks like it quickly got to close where they need. Did they get it? Oh, great shot. Very nice shot. Makes the double, rolls behind the corner guard as well. To be second shot there. Very nice way to cut down their opposition, though. So Rebecca recognizes that she is still shot rock.
Yeah.
Going to try to just corner freeze that redstone to see if they can sit 2 there.
Fast pass here. So
If she's able to make this and leave this right on the corner, it'll be very hard for Ha to make a shot that'll keep her from having a shot at 2. It's important that you try to make this one really good here. Keep it above the tee line and on that corner of that redstone. Morrison's first here in the 3rd end. Looking to sit 2 here. Is curling quite hard. Needed to get by that guard. Not going to quite. Just clips it. Spills into the top 12 for 3rd shot. So Morrison team sitting first and third. It does help guard their rock at the back
솔직히
of the
정만
forefoot.
맞으면 되긴 하거든.
So a bit of one bit of silver lining to that shot is that it did help protect them back.
여기 바깥쪽 써버리면 바로 이거긴 해. 맞아. 들어오대. 그거 아니면 여기 아예 뒤로 와야 돼.
거기까지 언니 어렵지 얘 때문에.
아니 더 뒤로. 아니 뒤로.
So the Ha team trying to figure out what their best course of action is here. They did look at potentially playing the double. There's a large element of risk to trying that double, because if you try to make that double but you run the yellow onto your red, it's going to leave Rebecca with almost an open draw for 3.
아니 좋으면 아예 좀 더 떨궈도 돼.
So instead of looking at that, they've tried to focus on drawing around the yellow here
아니야 괜찮을 것 같아. 저기.
and see almost if they can corner
근데 여기
freeze
많이 안 썼다.
yellow that's
여기 좀
on the back
떨어졌으면
forefoot.
좀 더 잡는 건 약간.
If they leave themselves shot here, then almost the reverse happens.
이게
Rebecca
너무
would have to be very careful herself if she tried to use that yellow out front. She wouldn't want to do anything that might lose her yellow that's at the back four if this shot is made well.
백티도 괜찮아.
See, they're trying to get it buried under that yellow rock that's in the top of the 12. Keep it higher than the yellow rock that's in the back four so that there's an angle created on that.
나는 부르면 괜찮아. 약간만 언니. 센터니까.
잠깐만.
난 좋아.
자 여기도 괜찮을 것 같은 게 이거 했을 때 우리가 이기거든.
그러니까.
오케이. 더 앞에.
근데 A는 T야.
좀 더.
Seungyoun Ha with her last rock here in the third end. Looking to try and draw around that rock in the top 12. Try to sit shot rock behind it. Sweepers on it very early. Now easing off. The line is close here. Do have to make sure it's by that yellow.
Straight.
And backing off gives the impression it might be a little bit heavy. Just slides to the back, 8 foot there. So it'll still be 1 for Team Morrison at the moment. Becca immediately puts the broom down where she wants it. She'll be drawing here for 2. Just need a piece of the forefoot to get those 2 points.
I think if you gave us like 2 feet in your last one, okay, it'd be really cool. Okay. 2 feet. Okay. Touch forward.
There's the last rock in the third end for Rebecca Morrison.
A little more.
Of Stirling, Scotland.
Big petite, we're on a slightly higher line.
Just needs a piece of the forefoot here to get her 2 points.
Wide speed!
Line they like. Sweeper's going pretty hard on it here. Need to drag it to get into that forefoot. Need a piece of the yellow paint.
Keep it moving. Go, 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 go! Hard!
They look like they're just going to come up, but just a little short. Yep, just 1 for them there. So it'll be a tie game at 1 after 3 ends, and we'll be back shortly with the 4th end of play.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And you know what? I've always said the 4 key things of real estate are location, layout, quality, and uniqueness. And oh my God, check out this location. We are in Lower Babby Point down in the Humber Valley. And who doesn't want to live here? It's like being in the country, but you live in the core of the city. We have the gorgeous Humber River, parks, bike path. You can walk down this bike path and you'll be at the Old Mill, beautiful place. They have a spa, nice hotel, restaurant. You can go to the Jane subway station. You want to get downtown. You go up the hill and you're in the junction, all the funky shops, cafes, one of my favorite areas in the city. And you know what? This home is quality. We have a solid detached brick, beautiful house. We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a stunning addition off the back with a huge living room. You go upstairs, we have cathedral ceilings in the prime bedroom. It has a wood-burning stove. We have a gorgeous stone fireplace in the living room. Kitchen's done, hardwood floors, crown molding, a sauna in the basement for those winter nights if you want to go in the sauna and get warm. And we have 2 exits in the basement. Tons of potential, apartment, in-law suite, so much. You know what? Uniqueness, you want cool? This house is super cool. On the main floor, we have a Gothic-style stained glass window from a demolished church in Quebec. In the prime bedroom upstairs, a gorgeous 19th century stained glass window shipped imported from Ireland. So cool. We have a ton of skylights, a ton of light. If you want light, this is the place. Also, oh my God, I'm afraid of the best thing. Backyard, private drive, concrete garage, beautiful, serene, idyllic setting, beautiful mature trees, gorgeous garden, so peaceful, so quiet. And you know what? The layout is awesome. 3 bedrooms, great living room, tons of room, tons of space in the basement, gorgeous kitchen. You know what? This home is so unique and so cool. You're going to be blown away by it. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the videos, the pictures, the tour, the floor plans, and give me Stu a call.
Welcome back here for the 4th end of the women's final here at the Stu Cells Oakville Tankard. Team Morrison scoring 1 in the 3rd end to tie it up at 1 each. Team Ha with the hammer here in the 4th end. Morrison threw their first stone in the house, and since then we've actually just been trading hits up and down the sheet here. Looks like both teams are content with playing this one out to potentially lead to a blank here in the 4th end, but best laid plans never always work out some days. Quick update here on the men's game. You can see Ross White here about to throw his last stone here in the 4th end. Team Mowat sitting at the edge of the 12-foot there has shot rock. It's the only rock currently in the house. Team Mowat currently up 3-0 as White throws this stone. I believe they're looking for the blank, which will still leave it 3-0 Mowat. And there it is, yes. So it'll be still 3-0 Mowat after 4 ends. Team White with the hammer as they go to 5. For anyone's wanting to watch that game further, it is available on YouTube at the Stu Cells curling channel. You can listen to that game as Perry Marshall is giving commentary on that game for it. Sophie Sinclair here, throwing for the Morrison team. A Looking to make this hit. See if they can roll a little towards center here. Change up the pathway.
Great. Nice.
When you have ends like this, it's important to stay focused and keep throwing clearly, but also when you make these hits, sometimes you want to change the path for your opponents. You want to roll a little one way, a little bit the other way. See if you can get them into a fresh spot, or maybe a spot they don't know well enough where they put the broom in the wrong spot. It's a little bit of the cat and mouse game that teams will play, trying to lead each other to spots they like better or don't think their other opponents know so well. Here needs to curl up a little bit more to stick around. Looks like they'll be just fine. Bit of a roll back away from center. Rolls just a roll a bit into the 12-foot there.
몇이야? 이거 좀 세다.
These sort of ends you used to see a lot more back in the day when teams were playing with time clocks that were playing time instead of thinking time. They would use this style of end to just minimize the amount of time they used for a single end so that they had more time to think about it as the game went along in later ends. Nowadays, where teams tend to play with thinking clocks, you don't see this quite as much, but once in a while, sometimes an end doesn't develop or both teams are not comfortable going too aggressive at a certain point in the game, and that's how you have this kind of end form. Hiring Kim, throwing the third stones here for Team Ha.
얍! 얍! 클린만! 얍! 클린! 더 있어! 클린만! 클린해! 클린만!
Just looking for about a nose hit here.
라인 좋아! 냅둘게!
A little bit of a roll in even. There it is. Just rolls in. Well, basically in the full 4-foot now, right on the tee line. Wouldn't be a surprise here to see the Morrison team try to maybe roll to the other side of the house on this one to see if they can change up the path. Gina Aiken throwing the third stones for the Morrison team. Looks like this is heading pretty close to nose. Might be a touch of a roll away. Gets it right on the beak. Stays right there.
Nice, really good.
Both of these teams throughout their round robin did a very good job at minimizing their opponent's scoring. Sometimes you win games by scoring far more than your opponents. Sometimes you do it by strong defense and keeping them from doing much whenever they have the hammer. And this kind of precise hitting that they're showing here this end is exactly how they've been able to do a lot of that. By making sure that they stick around when they hit something, they hit it right in an area where they're looking to. Just good quality curling from these teams.
대박이다.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Rebecca here throwing her first stone now in the fourth end.
What's that? I don't know if it's just a pattern of the stone. Okay.
Just wanted to make sure that she's super sure that there's nothing on the bottom of that rock. The last thing you want is to have something stuck under it that's going to throw it off after you've worked so hard to keep this end clean. You don't want something like that to ruin the end and throw your rock off. One of the confusing parts you heard her say, I think it's the pattern. Sometimes you'll look under a rock and think there's a big piece of debris, but it's actually just the pattern of the granite at the bottom of the stone. Nice little hit and roll. Rolls out to the other side of the house. As I mentioned, this is not a bad idea. Change up the path here a little bit for the Ha team. Maybe you get a half miss. Maybe they roll out here for it. That would give you a free draw somewhere else in the house if you can find a spot that you think is a better path to get a full miss potentially on the next one. Seungyoun Ha with her first here in the fourth end. Just looking to hit this pretty close to nose.
그린! 이건 가야 된다. 라인 좋아, 계속 와. 자, 계속 오자. 이거 와야 된다. 계속 와.
Keeper's going really hard on this one. Don't want to roll too far. Want to stay in the house. There they go. Keeping it right on the nose there.
10초 7.
아, 부름을
10초 7.
좀 짧게 잡았어.
So Rebecca will make sure she hits this. She may have a preference where she rolls to, but the absolute most important thing here for her is to make sure that red goes away. If she sticks around, she knows that Team Ha will be throwing a takeout to attempt to peel it out. You do want to try and stick around if you can to actually force them to do that and not just be able to throw it away for the blank, but definitely make sure you get the red. Don't need to get cute on this. Line looks pretty good. Just a matter of getting any positioning that they want. Looks like they'll roll back a bit towards center. By rolling to center, it makes the blank a little bit tougher for the opposition. They've got further to roll now. You don't want to have them set up where they can do a blank out at the 12 foot at the side of the house sometimes. That just makes it easier for them to roll away. Whereas here, they have to make sure that they don't hit it too thick or they might actually accidentally stick around in the house. And after they've been playing all in to make sure that they do stick around, it's just a bit of a mental shift now to try and make sure that you don't stick around on this and that you roll away. And sometimes that can lead to a half miss, which is all it takes for them to stay in the house and be forced to one. So Ha looking to hit this probably anywhere between a half and 2/3 just to get rid of it. Sweepers immediately called on here to try and push this off center line. And it looks pretty good though. Just a bit more than half, rolls right out the side. That'll be a blank end here in the fourth. It'll be 1-1 as we go to the fifth, and we'll be back after a break shortly.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And you know what? I've always said the 4 key things of real estate are location, layout, quality, and uniqueness. And oh my God, check out this location. We are in Lower Babbie Point down in the Humber Valley. And who doesn't want to live here? It's like being in the country, but you live in the core of the city. We have the gorgeous Humber River, parks, bike path. You can walk down this bike path and you'll be at the Old Mill, beautiful place. They have a spa, nice hotel, restaurant. You can go to the Jane subway station. You want to get downtown. You go up the hill and you're in the Juncheon, all the funky shops, cafes, one of my favorite areas in the city. And you know what? This home is quality. We have a solid detached brick, beautiful house. We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a stunning addition off the back with a huge living room. You go upstairs, we have cathedral ceilings in the prime bedroom. It has a wood-burning stove. We have a gorgeous stone fireplace in the living room. Kitchen's done, hardwood floors, crown molding, a sauna in the basement for those winter nights if you want to go in the sauna and get warm. And we have 2 exits in the basement. Tons of potential, apartment, in-law suite, so much. You know what? Uniqueness, you want cool? This house is super cool. On the main floor, we have a Gothic-style stained glass window from a demolished church in Quebec. In the prime bedroom upstairs, a gorgeous 19th century stained glass window shipped imported from Ireland. So cool. We have a ton of skylights, a ton of light. If you want light, this is the place. Also, oh my God, I'm afraid of the best thing. Backyard, private drive, concrete garage, beautiful, serene, idyllic setting, beautiful mature trees, gorgeous garden, so peaceful, so quiet. And you know what? The layout is awesome. 3 bedrooms, great living room, tons of room, tons of space in the basement, gorgeous kitchen. You know what? This home is so unique and so cool. You're going to be blown away by it. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the videos, the pictures, the tour, the floor plans, and give me Stu a call.
And we're back here for the 5th end of the women's final here at the Stu Cells Oakville Tankard. This is Adam Gilbert here with you. Hope you've been enjoying the game so far. Into the back half of the game now. Going to be a bit more aggression from the teams as we start getting a little bit later. Don't want to let opportunities slip away. So immediately Team Morrison starts the end with a center line guard. Then Team Ha came around that into the top 8. Team Morrison with a bit of a miss here though on their second lead stone, coming to the back of the house, almost fully in the 12-foot there. So you can see Team Ha looking now to potentially go right around everything to the 4-foot. Also discussing whether it might be better to spread things out and try and separate their rocks around the house to see if they can get a multiple that way. Thinking it could be tough to get to the top 4 buried with where their rocks stopped in the top 8-foot. While their rock in the top 8-foot is a great deterrent for Team Morrison getting anything buried in the 4-foot, it does prevent them from doing the same as well. So playing to the side of the house now, they do want to be closer than that yellow rock at the back of the house. So they'll look to be close to full 8-foot here if they can. Keeper's going hard on this one. It might be a little light. Trying to drag it as far as they can. Even if they can't get it to be shot, they want to get it as far along as they can. Looks like they're able to though. Great sweep. In fact, actually took it all the way to the back of 4-foot depth there. So it is 2 red at the moment. Team Morrison not wanting the reds to build up too much. Going to try and play the hit and roll here. Also a good way for them to try to get under those rocks near the center line. Again, that red in the top of the 8-foot is a bit of a deterrent for a draw there. It's hard to get buried behind it. You can go around, but if you want to get fully behind it, you're going to be quite deep in the house there. Sophie Sinclair here with the throw. Tia Aiken with the sweep there. Trying to roll across, rolls a bit too far there. Does remove the red, so it's back to 1 red in the house. Rolls to the full 12 there, so second and third are Team Morrison. So now that those 2 yellows are at the back of the house, now Team Ha is thinking that this draw is a better idea. The reason for that is that if they try and come around here, they're again likely not going to bury, but if they're sticking out by 1/3 of a rock or even half of a rock, and Team Morrison tries to hit it, there's a good chance that rock would then go into those yellows at the back of the house. So now, given the angle that they can set up, by being a bit more aggressive here, it does make more sense for them. the second stones for the Ha team. The line looks pretty close here. Might need a little bit of finish, but it's not too bad. Looks like it's running a little bit though. Going to come a little bit deep on them. Goes to the back of the forefoot there, and that creates a bit of a pocket here for Team Morrison to draw into. So shot rock is the red just biting the back of the forefoot. Team Morrison going to try and draw on top of that. Try and get frozen to make it very difficult to be removed and get shot rock at the same time. Good opportunity here for Team Morrison. Need to get this in a good spot here. This is out there a little bit. It does need to cross. Sweepers are saying it's a little bit heavy. Almost back 12 weight now, they're saying.
Good sweep. 13-8.
Chips off it, pushes it back to the full 8. However, it does appear to be too red now, or too red still, I should say, as the shooter rolls off. It's only about 2/3 into the 8 foot.
Yeah, I think at this point we've just got to
So just a little heavy on that attempt there for the freeze. Needed to be higher up. It was better to be short a little bit than to be heavy on that shot there. Team Ha gonna try to put that rock back, maybe even a little bit higher up in the house. A similar kind of idea, trying to tuck a good portion of it under the guard, but it's okay to leave a little bit of it exposed on the side. Pretty close on our last one. I expect this weight to be very close here as well. Sweepers are staying right near with it. Very nice shot. Excellent positioning. Just biting the pin there at the top of the button. Almost fully buried. Going to be very difficult for Morrison to get that out without a couple shots here. So they're just going to try and corner freeze on it. Really shrink the scoring area. Make it so that there's really no other spot for Team Ha to put another rock and actually get 2, as long as this yellow rock is able to be corner frozen on the red on the button. Need to be careful here. Bouncing off, though, would set up a potentially very big end for Ha. So they need to make sure this weight's very close and doesn't bounce off that red. Morrison likes the line. Sweepers are mostly on this, trying to drag it. Looks like it's dying on them, though. It's just going to chip off that rock in the top 8 foot, spill in a little bit. Hard to tell who is second shot. It looks, or even third shot, it looks like it might still even be 3 red there. They're motioning that the red in the top of the house is closer than the yellow. Very difficult for us to tell from this angle here. Good news is we don't need to actually know it until towards the end for sure, as some of these angles and positions are going to change. Quick update while they're having this discussion on the men's game. Team White scoring 1 in the 5th end. So they now trail Team Mowat 3-1 after 5 ends. Team Mowat now with the hammer on the men's side. Again, that game is available on YouTube. If you look up Stu Sells Curling on YouTube, you can find that game with audio commentary as well for you there.
지금 타임 못 쓰잖아, 그지? 아, 타임 쓰고 싶긴 한데.
So Team Ha look like they don't like where this yellow ended up. It is a bit of a danger rock for them here. So they're going to try and handle it. Looks like they're going to just play quiet, wait, try to get to the inside of it and tap it back. That'll do a couple things. Obviously, you remove the yellow and no longer leave it dangerous to them, but it'll also overlap those two red rocks if they can as well in the top of the house. That'll create a lot of protection for their rock that's sitting on the button currently. Hiram Kim throwing the third stone for Team Ha. Get it by the guard here. Get to the inside of the nose. Push the yellow to the back. Pretty nice shot. The yellow did jam though on the other yellow stone that was at the back of the house. It does appear that they're only one red at the moment. However, that red is quite secure in there right now. That's going to take multiple shots to even move that rock at this point.
Yeah, because the thing with the run is you're still leaving them a shot to lie free afterwards. So we probably just have to go for it. Yeah. Same weight, and I'll give you a bit more. Give us the exact same pro. Yeah. Okay. So we took about. Let's just take there.
So it looks like they still like the draw here, if they can make it in. They want to add another yellow that's in the mix for scoring here because their yellow, even though it's second shot now at the back, it's a very lonely yellow back there at the moment. So just looking to see if they can corner freeze this one on the red on the button. They're quite close on it last time. Just took a little more ice this time after they rubbed off the one in the top 12 the last attempt. Gina Aiken here throwing her second stone in the fifth end. He's not really putting a broom to it yet. Now getting on it a bit. Line is very close here. Weight's a touch heavy, so they're going to take it by the rock in there. It's going to stop and be second shot at the back. Definitely some protection overall for the Morrison team as they now sit second and third at the back of the house.
Oh, yeah, but you just have to go down there. Yeah, they won't call it down there.
Timeout being called here by the Ha team.
아, 약간 무거울 걸.
아니야.
I think it's because we're at the end, but they're like, this is okay.
So they'll have their coach head out down to the ice to have a quick discussion with them.
근데 우리가 지금 여기 온다고 맞을까? 근데 언니 이것도 어려워서. 어려워.
네, 만들 수 있어. 들어. 승희 한번 찝어봐. 뭐? 아니, 들어.
2번 돼야 돼.
2번 되려면 터치포만 되면 돼요.
아니면 꽉 차게 들어가요. 아니면 꽉 차게 들어가면 8까지 가면.
2번 돼.
터치폰은 2번이야?
네. 그 터치포.
근데 터치폰하면
나요.
One advantage of speaking a language that's not native to your opponents is you can have a discussion up and down the entire length of the sheet of ice and not worry about them understanding what your plan is. So in this case, Ha staying down at the far end just to relay what her thoughts are to their coach. And actually having a pretty frank, open dialogue, it appears, about what their options are.
치더라도 지금 상황에서는 무릎 여기 계속 만져가야 돼.
그럼. 네.
아니 이거 7도 괜찮아?
오케이. 네. 네.
Looks like they've come to an agreement on their attack plan here.
오케이. 오케이.
Given the broom that she's lining up there, I believe that they've chosen to try and draw in on top of their red, try and take that corner freeze away that the Morrison team has been attempting. Possibly, though, they could be just throwing a guard up in front here to protect it. Not seeing any of the other options given where they've placed their broom here for this.
라인은
This is
좋아.
Hiring Kim with her second rock of
크게
the
돌아와
end.
안슬라인.
천천히 봐.
많이 크게 돌아 많이를.
살아있어. 천천히 봐, 루니야.
This is very, very far out there. This has to curl back a long way
라인 때문에.
to either be a guard or get in there.
아니 진짜
계속 가, 계속 가. 더 가야 돼, 더 가야 돼.
계속 가.
더 가야 돼, 더 가야 돼, 더 가야 돼, 더 가야 돼.
Will stop just biting the 8-foot.
15도 6하나 이거 완전 안슬라인.
Does come over and close down that draw path. Not really a port, or at least much of a port there for Team Morrison to go through now. There might be enough space to go through if they want to try,
Over curls the error.
but they have to know that it's not easy to get through there now.
Probably above 5. As he says, 2's okay. But we could go for it. So, here? Here we go. Here more? Okay. Yeah. And then if we over curl and then sit, like, roll to walk, that's fine.
So they are going to try and draw through that port. They know it's very narrow, but they also know that there's some
when you go down here, it looks even
positives if they
smaller.
clip off either of the reds there with the right appropriate weight. If they clip off the one that's just been thrown, but just very slightly clip it, they could actually still spill in towards the center and accomplish their outright goal for the shot.
Yeah, exactly.
If they over curl, they could roll a bit cornered under the red in the side top 12 or top 8 there, and it might create an angle that's good for them, or at the very least prevent Team Ha from using that red. So lots of possibilities. Good communication is very important on a shot like this. Sweepers need to share the weight with the skip and the vice, and those two need to make sure they're helping communicate line as best they can. This is very close here if they can get it through. And they get it by both reds. Just clips off the one, rolls into the other one, and will settle there. It is still just one red at the moment in the house. That 4-foot is getting very, very difficult to access here. Looks like Team Ha now thinking that their best way to get a second one in there, since a lot of the draw paths are gone, their best chance is to try and tap this red rock. They've been looking to see what Team Morrison would throw. Sometimes if you're not sure what to throw yourself, the best question to ask is, well, if the other team was throwing right now, what would they throw? They don't see a lot of great options for Team Morrison. When you see that's the case, then it does allow you to settle on a choice that's a bit more offensive than defensive. So just playing the tap, all they need to do is get a piece of it into the 4-foot to be sitting 2 here. They want to still hit it fairly close to nose so that they still keep covering up that side of the 4-foot. They don't want to roll far away and potentially leave something where Team Morrison can use it for a hit and roll, or to just even draw in through there still.
Okay.
Seungyoun Ha, I apologize. Throwing her first here in the fifth end.
Oh, they're playing great.
The weight here looks pretty close. Starting to curl heavily now. Need to make sure it doesn't over curl and clip the other red if they can avoid it. Does clip it, still taps up their red. It does look like they got two now here out of this. Appears to be 2 red at the moment.
And I think if it said it would just come back into this anyway, wouldn't it? Yeah. Can you...
Trying to find a way for yellow to get one of their rocks in there, whether it's promoting one or throwing one. No easy path for a thrown rock to get in there, so the promotion of one of theirs kind of becomes the next thing. They're looking at that double tap, the red onto the yellow.
Okay, 11.5.
It does appear that it's very hard to hit that yellow in between those other 2 reds that are on the forefoot.
I think we want to catch this pretty thin because we're kind of coming to this way.
So if you hit the red onto the yellow but catch the yellow thin, it will go more sideways than straight back. And by going more sideways, it will likely hit that rock that was just tapped to be biting the forefoot, but then might further ricochet down onto the one that's on the button. You might be able to get this yellow going into both of these here. Team Morrison would still consider this a successful end if they can force Team Ha to just 1 point this end. So they're not thinking they have to get rid of the red rock that's on the button, but if they can make sure that red is only sitting 1 at most, and yellow is very close to that forefoot, making it hard to get 2, they'll think that's a good result from this shot. This is close. Needs to curl a little. Here it comes. Excellent shot. Punches the yellow over, taps it back. Red is still sitting 1 on the back of the button.
Good judge.
And then their Yellowstone is now sitting just biting the top of the button, really shrinking the area that Team Ha has to get their 2 points this end.
근데 솔직히 이거 해볼 만하긴 한데. 근데 그래봤자 2점이야.
Team Ha looking to see if there's anything else other than the draw for 2. There is potentially maybe a long angle double for a couple.
여기 오는 게 좋을 것 같아. 2개라고 보면 안 돼. 얘 맞고 이렇게 와도 돼. 밀리진 않아. 어때? 근데 난 얘가 생각보다 이렇게 올까봐 약간 그게 걱정이긴 해.
Trying to see if they can also play the double tap on these reds. It might chip off the yellow that just got tapped into the top of the button. They're not sure where their red would spill to after it was tapped up.
이게 맞고 이렇게 가도 살짝 바꿔.
So they expect it, if they play this double tap, it'll drag over a bit towards the yellow, might push the yellow a bit out away from the forefoot. But then the question becomes, where does the red rock that's going in go? Does it go out of the forefoot as well? Important to throw the right weight on this kind of shot.
어때?
나도. 아니, 잠깐만. 안 나고.
Team Ha here with the final stone of the 5th end, looking to score a multiple here. They are currently sitting shot rock on the button, trying to find a way to get 2 out of this here.
Clean!
hard to try and curl this. Like it's getting closer. They've got a piece of it here. Tap, tap, but not enough. It'll be 1 for Team Ha here in the 5th end. They'll take a 2-1 lead going to the 6th, and Team Morrison will have the hammer when we come back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And we're back here with the 6th end of the women's final here at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Team Ha scoring 1 in the 5th. Try to double tap to get their 2nd point. Weren't able to quite get it far enough. So it'll be 2-1 for them. Team Morrison with the hammer here in the 6th end. Going to be a very pivotal end here in the game as Team Ha will try their hardest here to force Morrison to 1 to make sure they get the hammer back, whereas Morrison will very likely go hard after getting a pair in this end to try and take an advantage later in the game here. Quick update on our men's game. Blank in the 6th end leaves the game still 3-1 for Team Mowat after 6 ends. Mowat with the hammer at this point. So we'll keep you updated on that game, but it is still also available on our channel for the Stu Sells Curling on YouTube. So you can always switch over there if you'd like to hear more commentary on that game. So a few rocks here getting in play. Team Ha with the center guard. Team Morrison throwing up a corner guard. Team Ha attempting the come around of that center guard there, going a little bit deep to the back 4 and not quite getting it buried, so not the exact placement they'd like. That gives a bit of an opportunity here for the Morrison team. They'll feel more comfortable about taking this time to go and try and go around their corner guard here, hoping that this is their opportunity to set up a pair this end. Sophie Jackson throwing the lead stones here. The Morrison team. This looks pretty good. Needs to settle down a little bit. The line is fantastic. That's a very nice shot. Dead buried. Its 2nd shot. Team Ha is shot there at the back of the forefoot. But when you're playing with the hammer and trying to set up a multiple, you don't always need to be shot after every single rock. It's important to try and set your end up. Get a few rocks positioned where you want and force your opposition to deal with them while you go and deal with whatever they have set up initially and see how things play out a little bit. So Team Ha going to ignore those stones over there. They're going to try and come around their center guard again. Hoping this time to leave it more in the top 4 foot or even the top button position. This one's a little wider here. Still is plenty of curl, so here you can see it coming back. Trying to push it over as well with the sweeping. This is going to dig in a little bit higher up here. Pretty much on the tee line there. And a bit further under the guard. So much better shot there from Team Ha. Team Morrison thinking about playing the freeze on top of it. Also possible is they could try to just play a bit of a tap back on it. Rebecca's team tried to suggest maybe they go for the guard here.
Roll over. Okay. I'm not a huge fan because if you do that, it's not great. And you're probably going to do that on the intern. Like if you're pretty much anywhere on the intern high, you're going for that, aren't you? Yeah?
Rebecca saying that she wasn't a big fan of peeling the guard, as there's a chance that the shooter would then go over and hit their corner guard. They don't want to disturb that since they have a rock nicely buried underneath it. So that's the risk that they're not wanting to deal with on that shot.
Then that's what I'm feeling.
I'm not against the ball.
Yeah, same.
Should we go for the ball?
I don't mind getting one in there now and then, yeah.
Because we're saying that we want to make sure we
So
score.
you can either play that or you can play for the bump, push it back here, and then we'll go for that later. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Good team discussion there from the Morrison team, trying to make sure they're all on the same page about how they want this end to progress and where their risk tolerances are for each shot. So they've decided they're going to play more of a freeze or even a little bump on this rock in the tee line here, knowing that that guard is still a problem for them, that red one, but maybe later on in the end is the time to make a play at it to remove it.
I like that.
This is Sophie Sinclair throwing the second rocks here for the Morrison team.
Back line! Okay, easy just then.
Back line, this is play the bump on the red here. Need to try and get this tight to that center guard if they can to stay as close to nose.
Yep, right. Keep on it. Keep on it.
It's coming over very well. Almost perfectly on nose there. Very nice shot.
13-7.
So yellow now sitting shot rock at the top of the 4 foot. Red is second and third at the back of the 4 foot in the back 8. And that yellow is almost fully buried behind that center guard. Just a little corner of it sticking out there. So Team Ha just looking to corner freeze the yellow, hoping to set something up that they can later on use themselves, as well as to start shrinking that scoring area.
괜찮을 것 같아 여기. 좋아.
So Seungyoun throwing the second stones for the Ha team.
라인은 그대로인데 빨라 보여. 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. 플릿.
very close here.
계속 와줘.
Finishing it really nicely. Very nice shot. Keeps it a little on the corner of it there.
소고탕이
In
나가지고.
front of the yellow. Yellow is still one. But now there are two reds, all at least half in the forefoot, really reducing the amount of
Just like
space
this way now.
that
Yep.
Team Morrison has to work with to score their multiple. So now Rebecca's stepping up to peel the guard, thinking this is now the time to take care of this.
Easy. Clean. Clean.
Just a straight peel here, getting rid of the guard. Shooter will roll over. It will hit their corner guard, thus exposing their rock at the side of the 8-foot. Given where all the other red rocks are positioned, though, now is not a time where you would expect Team Ha to be solely focused on that yellow at the side. They could undertake chasing it there. However, they already are second, third, and fourth shot, meaning that yellow off to the side is fifth shot.
Good. Yeah.
So there needs to be a lot of rocks changing in the house before that one will come into play
One way or
here.
another.
So rather than worry about chasing it, they're just thinking, how about we replace our guard, maybe put it in a slightly better position even for us,
I think Regina's first.
and force the pressure onto Team Morrison to make a bigger move.
We maybe have to call time out at some point again. Yeah. Yeah, it's just at some point, obviously, they're going to hit this on the high side. If we leave it on this side.
Team Ha just throwing a tight center guard here
If they block us,
and to protect their rock that's sitting near the top of the 4-foot.
라인 좋아. 자, 내려가야 돼. 라인 진짜 가자.
Sweepers on it right out of her hand here, not thinking this
라인
is heavy.
계속 와야 돼, 이거. 이거 계속 와야 돼, 이거. 야, 라인
Sweepers
더
kind of straighten
가자.
this out a little
라인
bit.
더 가야
This
돼.
isn't curling as
더
much
가야
as
돼,
they
진짜
hoped.
더 가야 돼, 더.
They are able to get it over. It's pretty good guard there, though. Would have liked it over about another inch or two, but it does the trick. Sometimes you don't have to be perfect with your guards. You just have to be close enough to the spot you want when you know your opponents are coming up to peel that guard anyways. So Team Morrison just playing the straight peel of this guard. There it goes. Rolls the shooter out. So now we'll see if Team Ha goes with the same plan again for this next shot. Still a few more rocks to come in the end, so not thinking it's time to make a move quite yet. So just going to try and replace that center guard.
And I'm like, we're kind of looking like we got a score.
한 번 더 괜찮을 것 같아, 나는. 우리 게 나쁘지 않게 서 있어가지고, 저게. 몇 나 됐지?
Iron Kim here throwing the third stones here for the Ha team. This is her second shot at the end.
아, 좀 밀어줬어?
Replace that
밀어줬어?
center guard here.
기다리자. 라인 괜찮아. 름. 아, 이거 빨라서. 름. 라인은 들어. 기다려, 떨어지고 있어. 라인 괜찮아. 빠르다, 이거. 라인 좋아. 만지지 마.
괜찮아.
그만 가자.
괜찮아.
오.
라인 괜찮아. 그만 들어. 제발.
Looks like it's pretty good. Maybe a little tighter than they would have wanted and a little more curl than they would have wanted. But that's the side of the red that you'd rather guard. Because any play made on that red on the other side means that it's going to go directly into the yellow stone that's shot rock.
Because my only thought, right, is on the right hand, the outturn side of the sheet, she's not got. Well, now she's going to have a run, yeah. And actually, yeah.
If we put something here, she wouldn't have anything.
I mean that run.
Which is awkward.
It's awkward, yeah,
For her.
because I don't know if we want to peel anymore because they're probably now going to hit the 40. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's tight.
Timeout here for the Morrison team, just checking in with their coach.
Yeah. I looked at that earlier. It looks tight to get enough weight to get it flat enough.
Can you get to the back ones and how long to get the gaps up there?
Do you think I could draw here?
You can draw on the influence line. Draw around.
The outside?
Draw around the outside of it.
Yeah. Just give it a wee bit of a.
They're going to hit, you know what they're going to do,
Yeah.
they're going to hit this front one,
Yeah.
and then you hold on to it and get to hit it and split. Try and get a score anyway.
Yeah.
If we guard,
Well, that's what I wondered because obviously if we guard up, they might have this awkward run. It's just like if they make it, but if they don't, it's great.
would you ever come round half round the
Like
front one?
right between their two front ones. That's, but yeah.
Like even just in front of it, and if you come up that short and rest on the side of it, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Try and get a skip to
Yeah.
almost like groomers.
That would be really nice.
That probably
But
feels.
you can't leave it open, it's got to get you on the front of it
Yeah.
or behind it, so it doesn't have, can't use your phone.
You can't leave that door open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. If you.
Would you have an edge, if it work out, will have an edge on it, won't you?
Yeah.
You'll see an edge of it.
It's pretty much got to be perfect.
But this would be
But
our
a lot of
error.
things
At least
do.
they're running our one in.
Yeah. I like it. Cool, thanks.
I think they'll be alright.
Discussion
Sorry, I
there
thought it was
from
me.
the Morrison team.
Okay, so.
Looks like they've decided to try and draw in towards the top of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They're considering a guard. What they're trying to focus on is what is the most likely option that the Ha team would go for there. And they were worried about them running in one of the guards into that red-yellow pairing in the top of the forefoot. So what they want to do is they want to make sure that if a rock's being run in, that it is theirs, but they want to make the angle as difficult as possible for that to be attempted there. So they're just trying to put this right on the top 12, a little bit under the red guard, so that the angle is not good for the Ha team to use.
Yeah.
Gina Aiken here throwing the third stones for the Morrison team.
Still there. Open.
Line's pretty good.
They like the line.
That's
Looks
great.
like it might be a little warm.
Okay, no, curl. Curl. Hard curl.
Trying to get it across the nose here. Not quite. Could be a dangerous spot here for the Morrison team. Saving grace for them is that they have hammered this end. But you may see the Ha team make a big play at this here.
근데 얘도 같이 빠져서
같이 빠질 각이긴 해.
Right now, the red, yellow in the top of the forefoot is queued up that if anything hits that red with solid weight, the yellow will go springing out of the forefoot itself. The red will go out if it's hit closer to nose. It'll stay there if it's hit more on
아니 그냥 길게 롱
the
가든.
right-hand side of it from the back of the house perspective.
아웃턴으로. 약간 요런 느낌.
나와도
아니면 롱 가든.
There is a possibility here the Ha
아니 얘
team
겹치게 하던가.
could try and get both yellows out of there if they can hit this in the right spot.
때려서 이제 빨간 것만 빠지고 얘 빠지고.
Question becomes, will they take on that risk level?
하는데 노랑
근데 얘가 어차피 바로 빠질 각이라서 괜찮을 것 같은데?
가든. 근데 약간 짧게 가냐. 이렇게가 나을 것 같아.
더블핀?
Also considering the guard out front here for themselves.
이게 어때? 더블핀
They like
어렵게.
Morrison just scoring one here. As I mentioned at the beginning of the end, they would like the force.
둘반.
They like potentially the position of them here for that to
원래
happen.
그냥 인턴.
If they are to throw the guard, though, what they have to consider is what else will the Morrison team have to try to get a second rock in there. They may want to be careful of that yellow off in the side 8-foot as something that potentially Morrison could hit and roll in off of. As they get ready to throw this, another update on our men's final game. Ross White with a big steal of one in the 7th end to bring that game a little bit closer. Mowat leads 3-2 after 7 with hammer as they go to the 8th and final end. Seungyoun Ha throwing her first rock,
라인은 그대로야?
or sorry, her second rock here in the
라인
6th
그대로.
end.
웨이트만. 라인 좋아. 클린해. 라인 좋아.
라인 진짜 좋아. 아니 라인 만들어줘야
룸. 컬.
Just setting it up
컬.
right near the center line
조금만
here.
더 오자.
That's pretty much where they were looking for it to be there. So the Morrison team here looking to see how they think they can get a second one in here to try and sit 2.
That will be there.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Here? Sorry? Here? Sorry. I was like, what? Yeah.
Looks like they're going to
Sabotage.
looks like they're going to try and play in off their yellow here.
Yeah.
So they'll play this with a decent amount of weight. Probably want to hit about 2/3 of it to try and get the roll they want. So it'll be tight to the guard when it comes by if they're wanting to get that roll.
Feel like the ice? Take a hair. Got a roll 13. Okay. Like that. Yeah.
So there's Rebecca Morrison's first here in the 6th end. This is close. Here comes the big curl. Quickly coming towards that guard.
Keep going, keep going.
got it by. Will they hit the other yellow?
Oh my God.
Goes right on by. That rock took off on them, and they just couldn't hold it.
Okay. What's the time? Yeah.
So now the Ha team seeing, can they try to do that shot themselves instead? They know where Morrison's looking to go. Gonna look to see if they can maybe do that hit and roll in. If they can get it right, they should be able to get shot rock out of this. They're going to attempt the same shot that the Morrison team just attempted.
I think now I look at it.
After you see a team make a shot like that and the rock just curls sideways as it did for them, you might now anticipate the same thing happening for yours, but it may not take that significant of a curl. And if it doesn't, they may only hit this relatively close to nose if they're expecting it to do the same thing and it doesn't. And if that were to happen, that might actually make it easier for Morrison to make on the next shot. So, important line call here on this one.
4초. 오케이. 클린. 클린. 오.
This is Ha's last rock, in the 6th end.
투머치야. 같이 와. 같이 와. 진짜 룸이야.
This is hanging out there.
진짜 룸이야.
And they get a little bit of a roll, but not quite enough. This now creates a better angle for the roll for the Morrison team if they choose to go after that. But you can see visually that looks like it's getting a little difficult to get to the inside of that red one after that corner guard.
12초 3인. 나 괜찮았어. 약간 핸들이 좀 빨랐어. 걸리면 안 된다. 맞아. 걸리면 안 되긴 해. 구름을려고. 그거 아니면 이건 별로였겠지? 센터. 너무 열어주는 것 같은데? 많이 안 맞아버리면.
Probably even draw and get close to drawing here. True. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's give it a good chance again.
So it looks like they're going to attempt the same shot. As we just saw, the rock didn't quite curl as much for the Ha team. So have to pay close attention here to see if it does the same thing it did on the first time for the Morrison team, or if this path behaves more like it did on the last rock there. They might be bringing the weight down a little bit. They talked about you could play this as a draw, so they could have brought the weight down a little bit here to give them that ability to manage the curl. Last rock here at the 6th end. Morrison already sitting one, looking to get 2 here if she can. Sweeper's going really hard. This is curling very hard at the guard. Can they get it by? They do. And they get the right roll off this. Need to roll big. Looks like they got it. Tremendous shot for 2 there. Morrison gets 2 here in the 6th to take a 3-2 lead. After 6 ends, we'll take a short break and come back with the 7th end to play.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Welcome back here to the 7th end of the women's final here at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Rebecca Morrison's team with a huge 2 points in the 6th end to take a 3-2 lead over Team Ha. Team Ha now with the hammer in the 7th end, throwing the red stones. Centerline guard here thrown up on the first one from Team Morrison. They're going to really look to try and get a force here on Team Ha if they can. See if they can try and take hammer going home to 8 by forcing them to 1. Whereas Team Ha will definitely look to try and keep a blank opportunity available here for themselves if they can, knowing that they won't want to go to the 8th end unless they are at least leading there. So they may play for their 2 here, but they're more than likely to keep the blank possibility alive as best they can. So there, Ha tried to go around that center guard, didn't quite make it, just ticked it a little bit. So we've got 2 guards out front right now. Team Morrison going to try and go underneath, get something right near the center of the forefoot as quick as they can to try and get control of this end. Sophie Jackson with the lead rock here. Trying to come around for the Morrison team. Line looks really good here. The weight's perfect. This is a beautiful shot. Very nice there from Sophie Jackson.
15-7? Yeah. Yeah.
Thinking that if they can make a good come around and come on top of this, that might push the Morrison team to try and do a run back, which could lead to them clearing their own guards. Good thought process on that. So Seungyoun Kim being asked to try and freeze to the rock on the button there.
많이 밀렸어. 8, 7, 8. 빨라 보이는데 많이 빨라 보여 나는. 아웃티? 아니 열을 거. 네 많이 갈
This
거야.
rock looks a little wide here, maybe even a little heavy as well. Yeah, a little heavy here. This is going to go past the yellow. Comes to rest in the back 8 foot, so just a couple feet too heavy. We'll keep everyone apprised of the men's final. They're just coming down to the final skip rocks now. As we mentioned previously, Bruce Mallett leading 3-2 in the 8th end here. He has hammer. Ross White is just stepping up to throw his final stone. He needs to be shot rock afterwards for them to still be alive here. Just take a wide pan out shot here. You can see he's setting up there. There's currently 3 red rocks in the house there. Those belong to Team Mallett. Not much in the way of guards to hide behind, so Ross looking to do maybe a little freeze tap of that one that's sitting on the button there. But needs to be shot after this for Bruce to have to throw his rock. Over on our feature sheet there, you can see attempted come around there, just came up a little bit light, clipped the guard there. Here comes Ross's final stone in the men's final. Sweepers are close. Hear them calling for a bit of curl. This is close here. Needs to be shot after this has come to rest here. So he is now shot rock with the red in behind him. And Bruce will be coming up to throw his final stone here, looking for the win.
Place the guard. Yeah, sorry.
Peel made there by Team Ha to clear the guards on our feature sheet. Team Morrison going to throw the center line guard back up. And back on our men's sheet, Bruce Mowat just in the hack here, getting ready to throw his final. Needs to pick the yellow out for the win. Looks like they're pretty good here. And that'll do it. Bruce Mowat wins the men's final here, the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard.
Sit, sit, sit. Good.
Very nice center guard there, set up
We'll take a
by
little
Team
more
Morrison.
ice than that. Let's take a little bit more ice than that for yours. I like it. And I think we can curl it.
Yeah,
We've got a nice look.
Oh, so we have to wait. Oh, okay. I'll switch this.
So Team Ha here, going to look to still try and clear that guard, trying to figure out where their red rock will go if they make this peel attempt. So they're going to try and hit the yellow first, make sure they peel that one, hoping to clip theirs as well, possibly push that one back into the house a little bit to get another red in the house. This could help them potentially set up a couple this end if they're able to, while still, again, keeping that blank opportunity alive for themselves. It's pretty close. Will the red stick around? Just slides through the back of the house. So clears out a lot of the front there, though. Still a very good shot from Team Ha. There's only one guard now. It's well off to the side. Opens up the yellow, so going to become more difficult for Team Morrison to keep guarding. For now, they will. At some point, they may have to make an audible call and determine, is it better to just make sure red rocks are removed. But given that some of the red rocks are being removed through the peel attempts thus far, they haven't had to worry about it. Gina Aiken here with the release on her first stone of the seventh end.
Let it work.
This one looks like it might be a little heavy here.
Can you curl? We're not getting the angle we need. Curl, hard.
Bit of a mistake there, coming in a little bit too deep. Good call on the sweeping there. Got it close to no, so if a peel attempt is made here on these, which it looks like it will be, there's a good chance the back yellow will drag back and hit the red on its way out. So you could see both yellows as well as the red at the back all disappear on this shot, and depending on the weight and angle that the shooter hits it, it may go as well.
깔끔하게 볼게. 세나 좀만 줄여주라.
Okay.
Kim here,
Whoa.
some big weight here, trying to make this double takeout, hoping to stick around though with the roll.
Whoa, yeah.
Where the contact is very important here. Makes a double takeout, spills everything out of there. So it does clear it up. Still very good blank opportunity now for Ha because of all those rocks leaving. Morrison taking a second to think about this. They're going to try and set something back up if they can. Trying to get the force would still be great for them. A few of our followers in the comments have pointed out how these two teams are positioned in the world rankings there. Both of these teams are trying to crack into the top rankings to get into the slams, and absolutely a win for either of these teams would be absolutely huge. The points for both coming from this event will definitely help them in the standings, but a win really takes a step up for them to try and get them into those, even if it's the Tier 2 championship for the slams, that can be a big opportunity for either of the teams. But the Tier 1 slams, those are really the goals for all the teams.
The angle worked out that if they hit it high, the reverse. Yeah.
So halfway guard there from Team Morrison, Team Ha, looking to see if they can try and peel this out and even clip their own and kill all the guards here in one fell swoop.
맞는 데보다 줄인 거다.
Just over curling a little bit to get the other guard there, but still a good peel there from Kim. So Morrison now thinking to try and get the force, her best opportunities to try and go around that corner guard that's still there. See if she can get a miss potentially out of Ha on one of hers. So going to draw out to the wings there. There's a bit of a temptation to maybe leave a corner of this showing as they go around this corner guard, with the idea that that rock just behind the house there in the back corner could be a catcher for something if it's jammed on it. So it's important to definitely get around this guard, but you don't maybe need to bury 100% completely around it.
Yeah. Take it here, Les. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Morrison here with her first in the 7th, leading by 1, trying to put the force on her opposition here this end. They like the line, a little bit of extra room they're saying, but this should be fairly close here. The line looks fantastic. If they can get this a bit deeper and really get it tucked under, that's a very nice shot there from Morrison. Does leave a small piece of it exposed. Great judge. Nice, good. Almost. They've got a hair. Good.
Ha is going to have to decide, does she want to chase that one and try and hit it, or is she wanting to run the guard back at it, or does she want to try and freeze on it herself? The freeze brings a significant element of risk for a blank there. If she tries to freeze and bounces off, she will likely have no attempt to blank the end, and she'll be likely forced. But if the freeze is made, it would be very difficult for Morrison to remove it in any way. We're looking at the run back here. The run back, if they make this, likely their shooter will roll out, the yellow will go out, and they're hoping that the rock they run back into it will spring towards the center of the house there. So that's the angle they're indicating they're trying to get. They want to hit this just a little on the outside to send that guard towards the inside of the yellow stone there. A little bit of danger potentially of that yellow jamming on the red on the right-hand side. So just keep an eye on that after it makes contact, where that yellow goes. Seungyoun Ha with her first here in the 7th end. The run back
아, 굿샷.
stuffs it beautifully behind there.
아, 이게 좀 이렇게 해줘야 되는데.
So she is now shot rock, mostly covered by that guard there.
너무 기다렸어, 씨.
그러니까 클리만 시켰어. 아,
Almost perfectly buried behind it there.
돌고 나서.
That's a rock that's almost impossible for the Morrison team to remove without taking on the risk of trying to do the run back peel.
이렇게 보냈거든?
So instead, since they are trying to get the force here, they are going to go around and risk the potential of a 2, knowing that even if Ha can get their 2, Morrison will have Hammer down by 1 and 8.
근데 어차피 얘네 1분 내기 하면 보일 것 같긴 해. 밀어내서 2점. 근질근질한 거.
So Morrison's last here in the 7th end. Trying to bury around that guard as well as the one in the house. Looking to be around T-line weight, maybe top 4. This is quickly diving towards the guard. A little bit tight on line. I think it's okay now. Gotta be careful you don't overcurl and clip off here. Just rubs it and spills a little deeper. And it ends up staying fairly open. Just needed it to get by that rock in the top of or in the side 12 foot there. So, Ha will look to try and play the tap back here to get her 2. Just needs to be careful. This path doesn't seem to be finishing quite as hard as some of the other spots on the sheet. So you don't want to get caught sweeping hard for weight and then having it not curl as much. But not taking a lot of ice here. So looks like they definitely recognize the path here pretty well. So Seungyoun Ha about to throw her final rock here in the 7th end. Morrison sitting 1. Ha looking to play a tap back to get 2 to take a 1-point lead into the 8th end. Very quick line call on this one here from the house. Looks like it's pretty good though. Sometimes you just need to get sweepers on early. This looks pretty good though. Makes contact, punches the yellow at the back, rolls towards the back 4, and that'll be 2 for Team Ha as they take a 4-3 lead after 7 ends going into the 8th end of play. We'll be right back shortly with the 8th end for us.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Welcome back here for the 8th end of the women's final here at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Still got a great close game going here. Team Ha getting their 2 points in the 7th end to take a 4-3 lead over Team Morrison. Team Morrison with the hammer, throwing the yellow stones here in the 8th end. Going to be a lot of aggression here in this end. Team Ha is going to be looking to try to potentially steal the end. Sometimes that's the best way of keeping your opponents 2-1 to maybe push towards an extra, but Team Ha would love to try and win it here by stealing this end, whereas Team Morrison needs to try and score 2 this end, so they'll definitely keep some rocks in play. This won't be a wide open hitting game for this end. So you can see in the first rock went up as a centerline guard from the Ha team. Morrison team threw a corner guard. Team Ha went around their center guard. Team Morrison tried to go around it, but here in the 8th end, there is a no-tick rule. They tick that, so their rock is removed here. And that's why you saw that rock taken away. So Team Ha going to try to freeze on top of their rock in the top 8 if they can. They want to control the center of this sheet as best they can here for this end.
밀리지만 않게 언니.
오케이.
Seungyoun throwing the second stones.
많이 밀렸어. 7.
Definitely want to keep this in the top part of the house here. Don't want to go deep on this one. Heavy would lead to bouncing off your one in the house. Sweeper's getting called on for a line here. Need to get by that guard. They just clip it, so they don't manage to get by. Roll over to be a corner guard there, leaving the rock in the house a little exposed for Team Morrison.
잘못 들은 것 같아. 자꾸 나들어오라 하더라고.
이거 되게 밀린다.
떨어지고 있었어. 1등 괜찮은데.
Morrison looking to do a little hit and roll here. Try and roll in behind that corner guard.
이게 아닌데. 왜 좋아? 왜 괜찮을 때 불러가지고 또.
This one's a little out, needs to come back here to make sure they get through the port and stick around. Good sweep by Aiken there to get it through there. They roll off to the side, but it does come outside of the guard there, so it's wide open on the side of the 8-foot around the tee line there.
It was a little light.
Team Ha looking to get a little bit of a roll under here. Hard to get a roll back all the way to center. There's just doesn't appear to be quite enough room by that corner guard to hit as thin as you need to roll back to center. So just looking to try to roll back incrementally here. part of this end for the Ha team will be making sure they minimize the number of yellow stones that are getting into the house here. They don't want to give up that 2 for them. Forced of 1 is totally fine. They would then go into an extra end where they would have hammer. So for the Ha team, they can play a little bit less aggressive potentially than the Morrison team. This is curling really hard here. Good power sweep to get it moving, and a nice little roll under that corner guard there. That was a great sweep there from the Ha team to get that rock moving very, very hard towards center.
Not sure.
That was my first thought.
I think it's there. Just like that. Yeah.
So Morrison team, quick discussion there. They want to try and find a way to make this as productive of a shot as possible. What they're kind of looking at here is hitting this corner guard and seeing if they can roll the shooter all the way over to the far side of the house underneath their yellow corner guard. So not only do you open up this red one, but you also get one of yours in the house buried if this is made perfectly. So need to keep the weight under control, but it is a big roll here. So this will be probably around a 10-5, 11 seconds, they said there. So that's the kind of weight you're getting. Really trying to make this curl to get over to get enough of the red. It's getting close. There's the hit. Look at the roll here. Can they get it over underneath?
Great.
Almost. They get a small corner. That's a great attempt at that shot there. To make that roll, they either would have had to just hit that a little thinner or throw a little bit more weight. But that was a great attempt. You can see what the result is. The Ha team doesn't want to leave that there, so they're now going to be looking to play off that. Well, that leaves their rock exposed on the other side now that that corner guard is removed. So the Morrison team will have a couple different ways to get towards the center of the house if they need to, but at least they have access to that red rock now. Here from the Ha team. This is curling very hard. Beyond the guard. So the guard is peeled and they roll over to the other side. Clip their own red briefly and then roll to the side, half in the 8, half in the 12. It does appear that they are sitting 2, the Ha team, but this now brings a big opportunity for the Morrison team here to potentially get their 2 this end. Gina Aiken being asked to throw it, hit the stone that's closer to center first, but hit about half of a rock, and then roll into the side of the other stone, pushing it out. Doesn't need to push it out of the house, just needs to push it far enough that the yellow rocks are sitting 1 and 2 after the shot is completed. Instead hits the top one first, but gets the same end result of getting both of them out of there. Does spill a bit towards center here. They would have liked to stay further away from center, making any kind of hit and roll or even a potential double much more difficult for Team Ha. So Team Ha now trying to think, how can we bring these rocks together so that at some point we can either get a miss on an attempt by the Morrison team or potentially get a double at some point.
I was like, it's just like, no, I was like,
So they're looking at a hit and roll where they would roll behind the red center guard and beside the yellow stone.
그냥 모아놔야 될 것 같은데? 모아놔야 될 것 같아.
모아놔야 될 것 같아. 오자. 아웃턴.
오케이.
인턴이면 낑기긴 하는데. 아웃턴 범퍼.
인턴으로 옆으로 가는 게 더 제일 좋을 것 같긴 한데.
인턴 노말은?
노말?
인턴 노말로 올게요, 언니. 근데 인턴 노말이면 약간
필로 확실히 가자.
아웃턴 범퍼.
필.
아웃턴 범퍼로 와야 내려올 수가 있어.
인턴 필.
오케이.
So looking for the hit and roll back to center line here. They're going to play this with a decent amount of weight here because they want this to be a fairly flat roll. They want to stay higher up in the house with this. Hiring Kim here with her second rock of the 8th. This is close. There's the big roll. Excellent shot. Rolls in almost dead buried behind that center guard. Appears to be shot rock as well, right beside the yellow.
괜찮아.
Will be a difficult rock to remove for the Morrison team here.
아, 짜증나.
So the Morrison team looking to just corner freeze on top of it here. See if they can set up the angles for themselves.
첫 번째 게 해봐야 꽂았지?
타이트했는데 좀 꽂았어. 타이트한데
한 스푼에 두 스푼까지 얹혔네.
Line's good.
They like the line here. Need to make sure there's an angle on this. You don't want to bounce off the red rock. Gotta get by that center guard though. Gotta get by it here. A little clip off of it. But they were able to keep the angle that they wanted. That's very important there. While they didn't get by, the little rub off the guard straightened it out and kept it going, but they were able to maintain the angle that they need to potentially run that yellow onto the red rock there.
근데 인턴이면은 이렇게 와야 되거든.
Very good job by the sweepers to stay with that one even after it clipped the guard.
우리가 2점을
일단 찝어보자.
2점을 안 주는 쪽이야. 이거는 우리가 스틸 하겠다는 거.
아니면
얘가 너무 지나오잖아.
얘 하다가 조금 비비고 이렇게 타이트하면 얘 그러면 1번 되긴 하거든.
이거는
Ha team trying to make sure they're sure they feel
한번 볼까?
they think they know who is shot rock
걔
here.
너무 짧아.
It does make a difference in a situation like this. If they feel they are shot rock
이렇게 했을 때 이렇게
and they are comfortable trying to protect it, that could be the winning point of the game for them.
바깥쪽 유지해도
Whereas if the Morrison team is shot
얘
rock,
맞아도 괜찮긴 해.
then the Morrison team just needs one more in there
근데 얘가 지금
to count and win the game. So the Ha team needs to make sure they know and agree on who they think is shot, because that will dictate how they play out the rest of this end
그러면
here.
우리께 1번 만들 수 있긴 해. 이렇게.
So if they think that they are not shot, then they may play one of the things that they've just motioned to there, which would be a little tap on the yellow onto the red to promote their rock a little bit and have that yellow spill over on top of the yellow that's in the forefoot there, potentially leaving a double
발
afterwards.
맞으면 내가 할 수 있을 것 같아 나는.
The danger of something like that they have to be careful about is they don't want to kick their red out into the open and allow that to be used for a potential hit and roll for the Morrison team.
그럼 얘가 그냥 내가 최대한 닦을게. 하고 어차피 얘가 잘 서 있으니까. 백. 얘 클린 좀 시켜보자 그래도.
So they are playing the tap here. We'll have to see what angle they get on this here.
언니 만약에 세게.
They look like they want to tap the yellow and just promote their red just a little bit. So they want to hit it close to nose on
근데
this
솔직히
tap.
백도 쉬운 게
They're
아니야.
only looking to just tick a piece of their red here.
올라갈 수 있긴 해. 노즈 밟고 가볼까? 진짜 이것만 아니면 되긴 하거든. 정 맞아도 타고 올라가긴 해. 나갈 수 있긴 할 것 같아.
요거 근데 콜 잘해야 돼.
아니 약간만 카드 때문에. 오케이.
좀 좁게 느껴질 수 있는데.
오케이.
Seungyoun with her first of the 8th end here. Playing more than a tap. This is a big weight run back here. Trying to get the yellows, but it's just going to clip the center guard. That's a big unfortunate error for that team. This is going to open the door for the Morrison team to possibly set up a very good chance for the win
Yeah,
here.
we do. So we just play it at like an 11.
So they're going to look to use their yellow to promote onto the red to remove the red because of the angle they created with their last shot. A very important thing, though, is they need to keep their shooter around here. If they promote this and then their shooter rolls out, there will be a relatively easy double for Team Ha to blow both yellows out of the house. So you gotta try and stick around with your shooter on this one.
Quarters is good. 3/4 to stick it. Here, Wes.
There is the possibility that you set up a triple after, but that's the risk you're willing to take here if you're Team Morrison, knowing that anything less than a triple, if this shot is made, could give you a hit or a draw for the win. Rebecca Morrison here with her first here in the 8th end. Pushing hard for the curl. Need to stick around on this. There's the tap and the removal of the red, but the shooter rolls out. So Team Ha will now have a double opportunity to remove both yellows.
You got time.
Given the angle of this double, there is a decent chance that Team Ha would roll out if this is made. However, at this point, they have no worry about that. They know Morrison would still be forced to take her one if the double is made, given that it's the 8th end. So the result of this is they're not worried about where their shooter goes here. They are focused 100% on making sure those two yellow rocks go. Seungyoun with her last rock here in the 8th end, trying to make a double takeout to remove both yellows and force Rebecca Morrison to take one here in the 8th end. This looks pretty good. There it is. There's the double. Roll off to the side. They'd love to stick this on the side just for the possibility of a steal. They do stick around as a biter. But nonetheless, Rebecca needs to hit paint regardless here. Needs to make this draw to get her one to force the extra end now.
확실해.
뭐가? 맞아. 맞아, 나도 그거야. 그래서 머리가 간지러운구나. 머리가. 뭐가 빨리.
Rebecca Morrison here with her last in the 8th end, drawing needs half in the 12-foot to ensure that she gets her point to force the extra end.
Make sure. Keep it moving.
Sweepers are heads down, pushing to get this there. Need to make sure they get enough in the house here with it.
Keep hard. You're fine.
They look pretty good now. There they go. That'll be one yellow. That will tie the game up, and we're going to an extra end now here in the women's final, the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. We'll be right back with that extra end.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And you know what? I've always said the 4 key things of real estate are location, layout, quality, and uniqueness. And oh my God, check out this location. We are on Lower Babby Point down in the Humber Valley. And who doesn't want to live here? It's like being in the country, but you live in the core of the city. We have the gorgeous Humber River, parks, bike path. You can walk down this bike path and you'll be at the Old Mill, beautiful place. They have a spa, nice hotel, restaurant. You can go to the Jane subway station. You want to get downtown. You go up the hill and you're in the Junction, all the funky shops, cafes, one of my favorite areas in the city. And you know what? This home is quality. We have a solid detached brick, beautiful house. We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a stunning addition off the back with a huge living room. You go upstairs, we have cathedral ceilings in the prime bedroom. It has a wood-burning stove. We have a gorgeous stone fireplace in the living room. Kitchen's done, hardwood floors, crown molding, a sauna in the basement for those winter nights if you want to go in the sauna and get warm. And we have 2 exits in the basement. Tons of potential, apartment, in-law suites, so much. You know what? Uniqueness, you want cool? This house is super cool. On the main floor, we have a Gothic-style stained glass window from a demolished church in Quebec. In the prime bedroom upstairs, a gorgeous 19th century stained glass window shipped imported from Ireland. So cool. We have a ton of skylights, a ton of light. If you want light, this is the place. Also, oh my God, I'm afraid of the best thing. Backyard, private drive, concrete garage, beautiful, serene, idyllic setting, beautiful mature trees, gorgeous garden, so peaceful, so quiet. And you know what? The layout is awesome. 3 bedrooms, great living room, tons of room, tons of space in the basement, gorgeous kitchen. You know what? This home is so unique and so cool. You're going to be blown away by it. So go to stusells.ca, see all the videos, the pictures, the tour, the floor plans, and give me Stu a call.
Everyone, we're here for the 9th end of the women's final of the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. It's a little bonus curling for everyone today. So tied at 4 now, Team Ha with the hammer here in the extra end. The no-tick rule is in play here for the extra, so teams will have to be careful around that. Team Morrison going with a tight guard on their first one. Team Ha with a beautiful come around to the button on their first rock. So now Team Morrison will try to set up another one here. You'll often see some teams go and set up another center guard here. Given how well positioned that Morrison team, or that Ha team rock is, on the button there, Morrison team, I believe, is coming around and trying to corner freeze it.
Okay. Top 8, thank you, go little. Yep.
Yeah, so there you can hear top 8's the weight call here. They are looking to try and get around their guard. Just get on the corner of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Line
whoa,
looks
whoa,
pretty
whoa.
good here.
Are we on the front?
Oh no,
We're
it's over curling a little bit there. They are going to be on the front. It is their rock,
Okay.
so they are able to tick their own. It's only an opposition's rock you're not able to tick. So the rocks do remain up there.
Here, yeah, but
네, 괜찮아.
Team Ha going to try and go around again here.
우린 넉넉하게 잡았어.
You can expect almost all the play this end to be focused around the center of the sheet. No team needs to worry about trying to get a multiple, so spreading their rocks around isn't a big focus. It's control of the forefoot.
라인 그대로.
That's going to be the major focus for both teams.
오, 빠르다 이거 언니. 되게 빨라. 진짜 빨라 이거. 클린. 클린. 오. 오. 기다릴게. 우리 거 묻어야 돼.
So Jin Kim here with her second one, just a little bit heavy. It's just going to chip off the one on the button there and settle at the side of the button.
이 좁으니까.
Leaves them sitting two here. For Morrison, given that they need to build an end,
covering the one.
this is not all that bad. Looks like they're going to play a tap on this one here. Oh, they're actually throwing another guard here. So feeling like they are going to need all these guards.
Yep, perfect.
Willing to let Ha build up their end in the center, knowing that they'll have the front, or in front of the house controlled. So halfway guard. There. Team Ha now going to start looking to clear these guards, not wanting all of them out front in case things turn on them for this end.
But not like crazy.
Interesting that she's looking to peel them in this direction. There is a chance that by peeling it this way, that center guard that's tight to the house could come back onto their rights.
발라줘야 되니까.
별로 안 때려도 돼.
Some other teams might have tried to hit this one that was just thrown a hit towards the corner guard to try and clear those two and deal with the other tighter guard on the next shot. Immediately out of her hand being called for the curl.
많이 와야 돼. 계속 와.
Just going to get the high guard
너무
here.
친다.
So only gets one on that one there.
너무 쳐. 나오는 것도 바깥쪽.
Immediately, Team Morrison calling for that guard to be thrown back up. Probably wanted maybe a little bit higher, but not much. It was fairly close to the spot they'd be wanting there.
No, but I'm okay with it. Long. Okay. On the same line right now. We're on the same line. Moving nice now. Moving nice. Line's good.
This looks
Line's
pretty
perfect.
close.
Good
Becca
job.
telling them that it's the same line as the previous one. Stops just a little bit short of the last location there, but very, very similar. Over curled compared to the last one, just about an inch or so. This is leading into Team Ha maybe looking at trying to triple the guards out of here by hitting it on a much different angle here by going on the other side of this rock.
브러쉬 하나 조금 더 돼.
Could be difficult to get all three yellows out, but certainly could get them all moving, getting at least two of them out with this shot. You want to hit this one just off nose and hit it back into the one that's on the center line, but on the opposite side of it as to where you're hitting this. Needs to curl up a little bit. Very close, though. Very nice shot. Excellent shot. Removes two of the yellows, pushes the other guard over to the right-hand side from our vantage point there,
엄청 맞았지.
essentially removing all the yellow guards from the center of the house there,
아니야, 거의 얇게 타다.
leaving them still sitting two in the house.
그거네 거의. 잘했어. 어? 뭐야? 아 진짜.
Rebecca understanding that they're needing to play this a little risky. She's going to throw the guard again here. Just going to be a single guard. Part of this is knowing she knows that Team Ha will continue removing the guards, hoping that either they make a mistake and maybe accidentally hit one on the nose and leave a guard themselves, or that at the very least they're going to keep removing them, but it's going to delay play in the house. By delaying the play going into the house, that'll give the Morrison team to maybe just make a tap back or a freeze late in the end where there's still reds that can protect her rock from behind. So they don't want everything to get cleared out in the house right away, or else there'll be very little for them to work with. Just getting that guard over the hog line into play there. Not much higher you can get that guard there.
확실히 넘었어.
So even though there's plenty of room to come around it, if the Ha team needed to, just going to remove it there. You want to play it safe if you've got the hammer here and you've already got those rocks in. There's no need for leaving any of these guards out front. So I'm just going to peel this away.
Whoa! Clean.
Looks pretty good.
아니 둘이 뭐?
Nice little peel there, rolls out of play.
그래도 약간 일부러 약간
Rebecca now trying to decide, is now the time to go in the house?
다 중심이 놓고 있어서.
잘했어.
아니, 나는 거 좁았는데 맞게 잘 났다. 아 얘가 일자로 섰으면 딱 우리한테 좋았는데. 안뺀거 같아가지고.
아니 괜찮게 나왔어.
I think if you catch a hair on this side, so you push that there, and it makes it hard to for hit ours either way. Yep. Okay, back, button, back. Yep.
So you hear Rebecca there say, if they push this one back to the back button or back four off on that angle, it's very hard to remove their rock on either side. And that's the goal here now for her, is to try to leverage these reds as a bit of backing to try to make it so that she can put a yellow in there that can't be removed. It does not need to be shot rock right away. You're just trying to get something in there that that Team Ha can't easily remove so that you have something to work with in the house.
I feel like patch in here.
So just throwing back button weight, essentially just a slightly heavy draw.
Okay, like 15 or 14, 8.
Back four weight from the sweepers is the call. That's pretty close to what they need. So now they're going to focus on getting the right line for this. Want to create a bit of an angle on the tap here. Very nice shot by the Team Morrison there. Creates a bit of a pocket there for them. Probably wanted to tap it maybe even a fraction of an inch more, but it's still a very, very good shot for them there. Timeout now being called by Team Ha.
지속게.
Their coach will come out now to give them his thoughts.
아까 거기. 앞으로 써야 돼. 각이. 근데 정말 좀 올라갈 것 같아.
근데 얇게 말고 만약에 약간 바깥쪽 유지하는 바깥쪽.
아니야, 이쪽 맞아야 돼.
네, 이쪽, 예.
그 타고 가야 된다고. 막
네, 이렇게. 너무 얇게 오면
그냥
이렇게
꽂힐 것
꽂혀버릴까 봐. 약간 이런 반.
반? 안 돼요?
두껍게는 힘이 쓸 것 같지 않아? 맞아도
아 반은 나 오히려 더 꽂힐 것 같아.
나도 반은 너 오히려 더 꽂힐 것 같지 않아요?
60?
한 70?
70.
70도 괜찮을 것 같아.
좀 빨라야 돼.
난 70 괜찮을 것 같아.
한 이 정도. 딱. 아, 이렇게 잡으면 돼.
막 돌아버리면 그냥 스테이.
그냥
스테이.
가봐요.
날아가는 거보단 차라리 낫겠다. 아니, 날아가게 할게요.
아, 일단 잠깐만. 너
70.
침착해. 아까도 좋은 상황이었는데 땜 나는 거 그래도 아까 왜 때렸어? 레이즈 때렸어야지 빨간 걸로. 침착하라고 제발 좀.
네.
왜 적을 뒤에 두고 싸우냐고 항상. 돌 전체를 봐야지. 하나에 꽂히면 거기에 매달리지 마. 승현아 제발 좀.
자, 밀리면 알지?
이게 틀어지면서 이게 바라봐지는 거라 잘 차다가도 틀어져.
So it looks like they've settled on hitting this as hard as they can, basically on a slight angle, hoping that what it'll do is it'll spill off the reds. If they can hit it just on a little bit of an angle, the higher red will kind of give it that angle to go out towards the side, and it'll careen off the second red. You're hoping that it'll just go out to the side of the house there, kind of like an around the horn that you've hit it into here.
아니 많이 와야 돼 진짜 이거.
It's a little wide here.
와.
And just jammed it. That's a big opening there for Team Morrison. That's what they were hoping for, is
Yeah,
some
처음에
kind of
너무
mistake
들어간
like
거야.
that
아무도
where
안
it would stick
했는데.
around. Now, they do have to think this through a little bit here, as they still are not shot. Team Ha is shot. There is no guards at the moment. So they are going to throw a center guard here from the looks of it
근데 갑자기 들어가가지고.
to try and protect their rock. It will leave the Ha rock exposed, but it'll make removing their rock very difficult on this next shot. And then they'll see what they have left afterwards.
멀었어.
Yep, nice and tight. Okay, I can almost feel what I threw from my draw in the last end. Rebecca
Morrison here with her first in the ninth end. Trying to guard their rock on the top of the button.
Hold that early, yes, yes, hold out there. Fight, hold out there. Fight, hold out there. Please.
Need to keep the line here. Need to make sure that it doesn't overcurl and expose that yellow. Has to sit down now. Just over curls a bit on them. So it leaves their yellow about half exposed there.
Sorry. Good sweep. Sorry, that was an awful throw.
So Seungyoun Ha is now going to try to pick that yellow out. Will want to try and stick around though. This is where having that an extra rock stick around could be important. If there's any need for her to potentially throw big weight and blast anything on her last one, having an extra rock around will hopefully avoid any kind of blank end there to help make sure she's got a safety net to score this end. Called on for the sweep. This looks like it's curling early here.
Soft, but not as soft as mine.
Is this going to get by the guard? Just gets by. Punches it out there.
Very much.
You can try and make this roll. Just make the double. Make the double. She's just got an open hip.
Draw looks almost impossible to get shot. She's thinking there might be a chance to get there and get it.
Barely.
Morrison acknowledging that if she makes the double, then it's going to be an open hit for Ha for this.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 10? Okay. More?
Whatever you see.
9?
The level of difficulty, though, to draw the absolute pin around all those rocks
Is that going to be nice?
Yep.
is incredible. So she's acknowledged that while it might be the shot that's best for the win, if she could make it, it would be extremely hard to make. So instead, she's going to make the double. She knows she'll be wide open then for Ha to hit. Has to then hope for a half miss where maybe Ha rolls out and they go to another extra end.
Yeah, you can't really get inside.
Rebecca Morrison here with her last rock in the ninth end needs to remove both reds and stick around to be shot rock here.
Curl, clean. Curl, curl. High, curl. High, curl. High,
This is close. And there they go. Nice shot. There's the double to sit shot rock, biting the top forefoot.
Okay.
Team Ha will just need to hit and stay anywhere in the paint for the win.
맞아. 내가 잘 놔볼게.
Seungyoun Ha now settling in to throw her final stone of the ninth end here. One of the nicest words you could hear as a sweeper this early. Clean. Asking to sweep it in towards the center, but that's looking pretty good. And there it goes. And Team Ha are your women's champions of the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and enjoying all the curling this weekend. Hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you next year.